Hello, my name is Dr. Apollo. So today we will be discussing two topics. One is creating a program and then debugging. Okay, and then step by step in creating a object-oriented program. So here now my slides. Okay, so let's steps in creating object-oriented program. So the steps, there are actually steps, no? So it's like a flowchart, no? Number one is problem solving and analysis. In every problem, there's such thing as you have to define the problem and then analyze what will be the inputs and then possible output. So this is generic, no? So that means you can make it on your own once you've been proficient. Identify the problem. Identify means analyze, no? And define the requirements. What are need? What are the mathematics involved, no? And determine the classes, objects, and relationship involved. So don't worry about this one. Okay, you will learn this as you go along. So but now as a par value of my discussion, let take it as it is now. Number two, design and intermediate representation UML, no? So that is right in your own because the step is actually write the steps on your own. Once you know the steps, then you can easily. Sometimes they call it UML, no? UML diagrams to represent classes, objects, and relationships. That will take per second, third, that's fine. And then class diagram illustrate the relationship attributes and methods. No? Because object-oriented has a attributes and methods. No? Don't be bothered about this. No? You will learn it as you go. Then sequence the diagram. What will be the first step, second step, and the third step in the program? Okay, we just like a flow chart, no? So you have a step by step, and then implementation. Now you have the classes and objects. Define the class, create objects. So class, actually these are the variables, no? And implement methods. Arrays, use ID and first dimension, second dimension array, no? So store and manipulate data. So example like this one, this is one dimensional array, this is two dimensional. X and Y, no? This is one X. Then Q, implementation, you just have this one. Okay, you just say Q, new link list, no? Just like this one. Stacks, stack equals new stack. Just like that, no? So this is another data structure. You can see array list, no? And after creating the program, you're going to test now. I'll show you how to write a program. Unit testing, test individual classes and methods, no? Because each method is one program. Each class, no? That is in the object-oriented. Unlike in procedural, everything is one program. But in here, in object-oriented, you take it as one program at a time, and then you build them, join together, no? So one big project is a series sequence of individual program brought together. So that's how you think object-oriented. Integration testing, so you know integrate each of the programs, subprogram. So the applications for the object-oriented is game development. Most of the game development now is done by object-oriented. Simulation-oriented programming. Simulation, you have to see the performance, huh? Because there is a software that's solved. Huh? So business, if you've been into uh, a programmer, no, com sci, so you will have this one. But this is more on IT. You are more on management, so it's more on just to know it, no? But you don't do this one. Okay. And business application, object-oriented programming is used in business application. You just have to know what are the object that needs to be. Okay, let's move on to how to create a program, compiling a program. Suppose you have done with the program, no? So how to do the program, just like this one. There's steps, no? I'll show. So for in creating a program, you have a notepad. For example, this is a notepad. And then you're going to write the command. This is the command, for example. Let's have adding two numbers. So this is a C code, or so you can take it as C++, no? So this is the structure, no? Don't bother, no? This is the structure of the C. int main, then number one, number two, and sum is the integer. These are the variable. But in a class, we call it object. Then input to integer, you say, enter the first number. You ask the user. And then once you enter, it will save into variable in the memory. And then you ask again the user, enter second number. And then when they enter, they will save in the second variable. We call it num2. So num1 and num2 holds the variable they inputted. And then automatically it will calculate. Sum takes the sum of num1 and num2. And then it will display the result. You say the sum of this one, num1 and num2, these are in the memory, is this one, the sum3, num1, num2. And then when the program is successful, it will be like, by the way, once it's finished, you save it as a two numbers.c. That's the code, that's the file name. And then if it is successful, it will create a two nums.exe. This is the executable. If they are successful, they just type the prompt on the prompt two numbers.exe. Then it will take the dialog, enter a first number, and then the user type 1. Enter the second number, the user type 2. And then automatically it will have prompt. The sum of number 1 and number 2 is 3. So 1 and 2 is the first two number. So this is it. Because it's num1, num2, num3. But there's a comma here. Huh? There must be a comma here. Like that. Because this is the format you have been done. There's a comma. Okay, this is how how to create a program, a simple program of adding two numbers in C++ or C. Save it as a point C or point. If it is C++, point CPP. If it is C.C. Okay, just like that. No, that's the difference. And then let's move on now here. So then you compile it. No, if it's C, you just say CC, then file name two nums.c. If it is C++, CC dot two nums.cpp. This is the file name, right? Two nums.cpp. You type cc, and then if no error, it will create two nums.cc.exe. That's the end result, and then that's the runnable program, just like that, no? So if it is Java, you just say Java, Java C, no? You just say Java, and then two nums uh, dot Java. Okay, the file name is dot Java. Two nums.java. Okay. By the way, but this is not the syntax for Java. Java is separate syntax, so it's a little bit longer. No? But this is run for C or C++. But anyway, C++ is object-oriented. Also, is a hybrid. No? I just take this as an example. So that's how to build a program and run a program. If it is okay, then it will be, you have a runnable program. As simple as that. No? This is not as difficult as you think. No? It is difficult than you think than in reality to create a program. Okay, so that's how to create a code, no? The hard thing about the program is when you are going to, uh, there's an error, and if it is a big program. That's why object-oriented is more favorable because you can break them apart, no? Uh, Object by object. Unlike in an old paradigm, you you cure it one time. If it is 100,000 lines of code, you're going to read it one. But in object-oriented, you do it by parts, no? Middle and so on and so forth, no? So that's the good thing about object-oriented. Okay, so now I have discussed to you how to compile. Compile means you just type the CC. That's compiling. Remember when you type the CC, that you are actually compiling the CC, this one, okay? When you run that one, you are compiling it. If there's an error, you're going to debug. That's our subject. Debug means correcting. Because, some error, no? Bug is an error. Debug means removing the error. So that's how to do the programming, okay? Simple as that. A debugger, no? There's a debugger, a program built in within the compiler and breakpoints and commands. Okay, IDE is a program in which you're going to write the code, no? So the benefits of that one is compressive. There's a tools, no? So the example of IDE, Integrated Development Environment. That's IDE means. So we have Eclipse, Visual Studio, and so on and so forth. Before we were using Turbo C, Borland C, but now it's more advanced. No? The most simple is DIDA. No? I'm using. IDE environment provides features such as code complex syntax, no? Because it point out the error. No? It's better to have an IDE because it helps you to where is the line, where is the error. No? So you just go there and then correct. Unlike before no IDE, you just find it by yourself. No? So let's talk about data structure display verification. So tools that can be used display complex data structure, such as graph keys. No? Verification techniques such as assertion and variance can be used to ensure the correctness of the data structure. Anyway, data structure is just a program. No? The one I show it to you is just like a code. No? Don't bother about it. Debugging tools, these are the tools. Before we don't have this one, no? We debug the tools, but now there's already sophisticated now is the program. So print the statement can be used to display variables, values of program state. No? Debugging libraries. No? So there are program now that used to help in correcting. And static analysis tools, so such as Sonar, these are used to, in debugging. It shows you slow motion how the program uh, build the code. No? But before we don't have this one. Software development, debugging is an essential part of software development. So in debugging, you will know the behavior of the code, no? Ensuring that programs work correctly and efficiently. But if you know the language, for example C, you have an idea where the problem is. Scientific computing debugging is critical in scientific computing. Small errors can lead to significant inaccuracy. Usually when the program runs, so that's okay, no? No problem. Those are other errors. So that's our lessons for today. So we will continue on the next segment. Thank you for having me. Uh, bye.